Hey everyone, it's Lisa and Val from Primitive Gatherings, and we have had a wonderful week of filming videos for Meet Me in the Garden Quilt Along.
Yep, did some stitching and made a quilt top and...
You're a rock star. She was a natural. She is a natural. She did really, really good. We didn't have to cut and start over. Maybe once.
Yeah, maybe
once. Maybe once we did that.
Yep.
So I just was watching. Kaylee did a blooper video.
That was funny.
Of me and Val were laughing at it. So
yep,
maybe you'll get to see that one of these days.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to just talk. You know, especially when to me, I think it's easier live. I think lives are easier than filming.
Because if you goof, they saw you goof.
Yeah, and then you just laugh and be like, oh, okay. Yeah. But when you're filming something that is, going to be watched repeated, or you're announcing something or whatever, it's just hard. It's like you're on the spot.
Yeah.
Right. So for a whole week, you've seen all kinds of weather.
Yep. We had thunder and lightning. I thought it was going to be like a snow thunderstorm, but it was poured down rain. The very next day, it snowed 4 inches.
Yep.
It's been sunny and beautiful, but darn cold. It's like 20 degrees out there right now, I think.
21,
so,
yeah.
21, yep. It's chilly.
And we just were out there. We just Jake is getting a little motorhome, so we had to go do some work for him to make that happen. And then we just went out for lunch, and we were outside. So.
And I leave for the airport too long
right
from
after
now.
this, I'm running her butt to the airport, and she's off to Vegas in probably 70, 80 degree weather, right?
Possibly, yes. Probably.
I'm going back there in May. I've already got my reservation in. So
pool should be done.
Pool should be done. That's what I'm working on. Yeah, maybe y'all can come and we can do a on location or whatever, right?
Yeah. Awesome. Not poolside. Well, poolside, but in clothes, not in a bathing suit.
No bathing suits. No. All right, so we have a bunch of things that we're going to talk about today, but not too long, like I said, because we're going to be running to the airport pretty soon. But I just thought it was time to show you what I'm working on. And guess what? There might be a few sneak things in here that I haven't told anybody about yet. So pay attention, because it might just be on and off and not much else with it. A blip. All right, so let's just start off with one announcement. We have a national teacher, Katie Puckett, and she is going to come to the gathering June 13th through the 17th of 2022. That's this summer. And Katie is a third-generation rug hooker, McGowan certified. So she's very good, and I can't wait to do this with her because I want to start again. Sometimes once you stop doing something, it takes a little bit of...
Isn't that how you started with wool? Was rug hooking?
Yeah. And I have done a lot of punching with rug strips or wool strips, but I really want to learn to pull up this way instead of punching down. So, yeah. So, if you're not doing anything this summer, come and stay with us. There's a flyer on the Gatherings Facebook page, or I'm sure it's someplace else. Primitive Gatherings, Quilt Shop, and Rug at the retreat center here. So this is what it looks like, but it's all colorful and beautiful. But look for that. That's more of the information for that. I would love for you to join us. I can tell you that the camp fees is $250. The lodging, the deposit is $210, and you can register for or stay how many days as you want. We have Katie's going to give us a pre-drawn pattern on linen, and I think there's a photo of what you're making too. It's got a monogram in it. I really love it. All the wools of your choice are included to make the project. There's going to be other make and take project, all the meals, a $50 gift card to the shop, a wooden foldable footstool that you can travel with. Class instruction fee is included, private backroom tour of Primitive Gatherings, and then snacks and beverages for
And I can tell you that staying at the gathering at the retreat house was awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good. It's meant to be awesome. So we tried to think of everything, and we're still thinking of things, and we're still evolving it. And we just took down the red and white, and finally I got all the spring stuff up. So it's very fresh, and I can't believe how it changes from one time to another just by the quilts.
And Lisa they have some great quilts on your beds, and if you stay in a room, you get first choice on buying that quilt.
So how many are you going home with?
I'm going home with 3, but I only slept in one bed. So
yeah, so you have the first choice of yours on your bed, and then if other people pass, you can go grab those too. So the people coming in today won't know what was on their bed, right?
Nope.
So cool. All right. So Val's been helping me hang out with me this whole week. So she's been what were you been stitching on?
This was what I was stitching on. Lisa pulled out a drawer.
She's like, you got something for me to stitch? I'm like, yeah.
I didn't bring much to
I got all
on.
these blocks that I haven't stitched yet.
These little, and
so that's unstitched.
Unstitched and stitched. We can tell what I stitched versus what she did. So I wasn't being a very good copycat.
No,
she adds
fine.
She adds a few more extra legs in than I did. So
yeah, I tend to stitch more around each penny than you, but that's just a personal thing, and I'm okay with both of us working on it. I think it's awesome. I'll remember it every time I look
have
at
a little bit of me in there.
So I'm going to show you a couple of the things that I am working on either right now, or I sometimes prep for the future, like for this occasion when it's like, oh, I'm going to Florida next week, so I might have, what if I finish what I'm already working on? I'm going to need something to grab quickly. So that's why I always have something else in the works that I can just stitch.
And that was one Valdani. It wasn't like 20 of them. It was just stitched with one variegated
and sometimes
Valdani.
we like to make it really, really easy. So that project and one of the other projects that I have going on is the sheep one. Do you want to pan to the sheep over there, Kaylee? So this is my board here of everything that I'm kind of working on. So this is my design wall, but I like to house my projects that I am working on. I don't know if you call them UFOs or whips or what's the other one?
Pigs. Projects and grocery sacks.
Yeah, I don't ever keep them in the grocery sacks. Out of the grocery shack and onto the shelf. Or I'm a bin person. All my stuff is always in these dollar store or Dollar Tree.
Yeah.
Dollar Tree bins. So that's what I
have to say, I usually put stuff on paper plates and I mark because it's just an easy stack, but I really did like organizing in your bins.
It's fun hanging out with other people to see how they function. So hopefully you'll get a couple ideas if you hang out with us long enough, right?
Yep.
Right, you showed them a lot of good tips for making Meet Me in the Garden.
Yep.
So if you don't know this, Val is the designer of Meet Me in the Garden. That's a medallion style quilt that features my
garden gatherings.
Garden gatherings. I know it's hard to keep them all straight. Garden gatherings. That's going to start probably June, July. We have to just finish up the pattern. We have everything else now that we think we can go forward with. So that's what this trip was all about for Val, is finishing up those videos and the work on the pattern and stuff like that. So we're good to go. All right, so that's what you worked on. One of the things, so this same pattern, the sheep here with this 6x10, yes, that's a special cut, more than half of a layer cake of flannel, and these 3 wool bundles or charm bundles with some wool here. That's what's making these sheep. So I know that the girls were trying to get this on the website for you, and if you order some of that, they're going to give you the pattern free for that. So that's one of the things that is on the website. Is it on Live with Lisa, Jess?
It should be, yes.
Yeah, they're working on it. So if it's not there right this minute, it will be. Because sometimes at the last minute I pull out a thing and I forget to tell somebody about it, so that's my bad. But I also, let's just start from this end over here, and I'm just going to kind of go over my board here. So this one right here, if you're unaware, and I know I am letting this out in the public, but that is called Revel. Those 2 blocks are the ongoing project in our quilt box. So if you didn't get in the quilt box, this is what they're doing in the quilt box for an ongoing all year project. So we will open it up next year for more people to join us for these boxes. Unfortunately, this one won't be in there for next year, but it'll be a pattern for anybody after this year that's over. So this is new to a bunch of you, and if you are in the quilt box, I want to show you another thing that I want to do. But first I want to show you the inspiration. So this is my inspiration for Revel. So Val and I will hold it up. This should go in the retreat house right now with all the 30s and So this is the inspiration. No, we are not doing this many blocks. We are only doing 12 blocks. And if you notice, I didn't put this big a triangle in my block. I put one about this big here because I plan on doing some sashing with that. So I'll grab this one over here. So if you're in the quilt box, yep, I'm letting a little piece of the bag out of the bag. So this is one of the Revel blocks. They got the 2 fat quarters for each block in their box, and then they can order this Bella from us, or you can use whatever they want. But this wasn't in the box, so just the 2 coordinating fat quarters. But y'all know how I am, and you know how I like little. So there's lots of room on those fat quarters left for you to make minis. So I will be putting these in the next box if you want to make minis along with your 12-inch blocks. So we could use these as cornerstones, but I think they're too cool to be cornerstones.
Yeah,
but
they're pretty cool.
We'll see. I don't really have a plan. That's how I work. So don't ask me to come up with a concrete answer for that right now, because I just do not know.
Are you going to show your antiquing at this point?
Yeah, no, not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Not yet. All right, well, that's a good idea. Yeah. So, okay, let's talk about the quilt box. So I know some of the people were a little, I don't want to say upset, that might be too strong of a word, but disappointed that their quilt box wasn't more primitive. Now, I get that I'm primitive. I get that we all evolve, and I am a little bit more traditional, and I have become a little bit more lighter and brighter. But back in the day, there were no dark fabrics.
Yep.
So this is what we did. So if we had a light fabric, we would antique it. Now, I antiqued the bottom of this, and it is going to dry a lot lighter than what this is showing right now. This is really wet. So that's what I did early on when there were no primitive fabrics, and this uses instant antique, and I would spray it on fabric. I would spray it on a whole quilt when it was done to drab it up and make it a little bit more saturated and not so bright. Sometimes if there was one fabric that really stuck out in a quilt and I didn't like it, I would tape that off and spray it with that spray. And it is a very natural spray. It is not tea dye. It's way better than that. It's going to hold that tan color, where sometimes teas kind of tend to be a little bit more pinky in hue. So we sell a ton of this instant antique. And maybe by the end it'll get a little drier here. I'll maybe pull it out a single layer here, and we'll see if that can dry up a little more. But I think you get the idea. So if some of the projects like that, you know, maybe you don't like that bright green, if you instant antique that, that'll dull right down to be more primitive.
Even your whites will
right.
turn.
And the problem with being darker, whatever, everybody kind of evolves, right? First, we all love thimbleberries and Kansas troubles and all, and you just kind of, then Civil War, and then, you know, you just kind of evolve. Your tastes change. I used to live in a warm, dark, cozy house, which you still live in.
I still live in.
Yes. It was like going home when I went to your house. I loved it. And then now I live on a lake where everything is lighter and brighter and more airier. So you just kind of keep in mind that I can't make everybody happy 100% of the time.
Yep.
So if I put something in there that you think is too bright or not your taste, well, maybe that's a gift. Or maybe you gift that to somebody else as unfinished and say, hey, here, maybe you'll like this. But that's just kind of how it is.
Yeah, and I know I've bought lots of kits where I don't like a particular piece in it or whatever, and I pop something else out or put something else in, put that in my stash.
So I guess those are some of the things you can do if you're a little disappointed that my stuff isn't as primitive as it used to be, but most of the things I think I do are still pretty traditional.
Yeah.
I'm not going way too cuckoo yet.
Well, and sometimes you need a brighter quilt in your house too.
Right,
you know,
right, or baby
a little
quilt.
Pop or
So I don't really want to talk about what was in the box yet, because I'm technically not supposed to reveal that to anybody, but
you got a glimpse.
We will soon. Yeah, you got a little peek of what the ongoing project was in there that we will be doing all year this year. So, all right. Let's go next up. So I'm going to just get this out of the way. I don't know if you know it or not, but Moda Blockheads 4 is starting soon. So I've got the first 20 patterns here. So I just want you to be aware that
it's coming.
MBH4 is coming soon. So mark that on your calendar to look for that, because we will be starting, I don't know the exact date that it launches, but I would assume soon, not too much longer. Okay, so next up on the board here is Heartfelt Quilt Along. Now this is the Fat Quarter Shop's Make-A-Wish fundraising quilt that I am going to make. And yes, some of you may notice I made my blocks half the size of what's on the pattern. So I did 6-inch blocks. They are 12-inch blocks, but this is a free download on the Fat Quarter Shop's blog or their website, one of those two. I don't quite know for sure because they sent me the whole pattern. Website. Okay. And please make a donation for the pattern if you download it for Kimberly to raise money for Make-A-Wish, because we all love our charities and we want them to be successful. But my quilt is going to be raffled off for Kimberly to make money off of that for Make-A-Wish as well. So probably in a couple weeks I will have the whole thing done. I have the next ones. I can't show you. I have the next ones done already, and I think it's only 5 or 6 parts. And you just make multiple blocks of the one design. So we are on week 2 or month 2 right now. So this was last month's, this is March's, and then I already have April's done. I'm so proud of myself. And I am using a bunch of Valentine's Day fabrics here. And we do have these on our website in fat quarters or half yard bundles if you do want to stitch yours in the Valentine's fabrics. So those are on there. And this is going to be one of our giveaways today, along with some caramels and whatever else I come up with here on the fly. I don't know. So, all right, just notes. So if you have any questions about anything that we're talking about, please ask them in the comment section. I have 2 girls here, Heidi and Jess, that will let me know of any of your questions, because I might miss something, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm excited about your next project.
Which one's that? Oh, Dragonfly Dreams. Mm-hmm. Okay, so pan on over to Dragonfly Dreams a little bit, and then I'll go grab it too. But this one right here, this is Dragonfly Dreams. And if you notice,
you want some help?
Yeah, you hold on. The quilt behind me is my inspiration for this project. So it's obviously different, right? But this is my inspiration. So now I'm starting to stitch rows together. So we have about half of the quilt done right now. This is an ongoing project in the wool subscription box. So now I have to stitch all of these with the embroidery in between. So I promised you I would reveal, and I'll be honest, it took me a while to find the quilt. I hit it really well. But now I'm going to start sewing the in-between, and then this, when I sew the rows together, that's a different set of stitches. I am going to use these same stitches, but not in these colors, obviously. And you'll see that we do have some cute half blocks out here as well. So you'll be getting that in your kit too if you are subscribed to our wool box. So I hope you love this quilt. I think it was a treasure. And did I copy the blocks? Some of them. Did I make my own? Yep. Because there's a lot of repeating ones in here of the same stuff. So I didn't want to just keep giving you the same block. So that's why I did some of my own. And I don't know if there's a right or a wrong side to this quilt, but I noticed that 2 of the birds there are upside down.
I think it might be half and half.
Yeah, and then I saw another bird, like right here, this bird is upright.
The hummingbird up there is upside down.
Yeah, so it seems that half is facing one way and this half is facing that way. But this is all hand embroidered. There's no wool on here. Mine have wool on and some hand embroidery, but I hope you're excited. And I hope you want to dig them out now and finish them up.
Get them out of your boxes.
Get them out of the boxes. Uh-oh. Somebody want to answer this? Just answer that. Sorry, I forgot to shut it off. Yes, that's my ringtone. Okay, so I think I finished everything with Dragonfly Dreams. And again, that's an ongoing project that we're on the second year of this project in the wool subscription box. So it will be a block of the month in 2023 if you like this quilt and didn't participate in the wool subscription box. Is it anything we need to know of?
No, I don't think so. I think it was a spam call.
All right. Happens to all of us, right?
Yes.
All right, so let's move this out of the way. Okay, so let's go. I'm going to grab this right here.
You have a lot of works in progress.
I do. I do. But, you know, that's just how it goes.
Yeah.
I love working on little bits and then moving on, little bits.
Then you don't get bored.
And then all of a sudden you have everything done.
Mm-hmm.
So this right here is my last set of blocks that I believe I'm going to set with this gray. Because I already made one with the dark blue. I made 3 of them with the cream. And now I think the one I'm going to donate to a veteran, I think should maybe be a little bit darker just in case they want to use it on a bed or on the couch or whatever. So one more set to do.
One more.
Yep. And if you didn't notice this already, we did take down the blocks off of the blog as free downloads. They will be a pattern that we will be selling. And again, we wish to ongoing send money to Hogs for Heroes for that. So we will keep that as a fundraising quilt for us. And of course, look on Katie's website. She's doing
Count Your
the
Stitches. She still has her PDF download of the cross stitch.
yeah. So we have a cross stitch version. Val's daughter is doing a bunch of our cross stitch stuff for us.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Now one more thing on the board here. Okay. So again, wool subscription box. This is an ongoing 1-year project in our wool subscription box. So this is a peek at the March one for my wool subscription people. Wonder what this is going to make. Any ideas? Any ideas?
Well, I know.
You know. You think
Sort
you
of.
know.
No, she could change it.
I can change my mind. I do.
I have to be honest. I'm in the wool subscription box and have been from the beginning. And I did not pay attention that had started with our first box.
So now what are you going to do?
I'm going to go home and pull it out.
And I get that we all are working on something. And the best thing about what we do is it doesn't spoil.
No,
it doesn't
it's not
go
gonna
bad.
spoil.
You know, it might go out of taste, but it doesn't
Not
go.
me.
It doesn't.
That's a good one.
Yeah, this is back to the primitive roots.
Yep.
Yes, I will forever love penny mats, no matter what color they are, or dark, light, whatever. I will always love stitching pennies. Okay, so that, ooh, see, it's drying up good here. See how light it's getting? See how much lighter it's getting?
Yeah,
Still
still
wet,
a little
though.
damp. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so let's pull this out. Speaking of our Hogs for Heroes American Gathering. So this right here is my plan for a free mystery for everyone, because like you probably have some leftover pieces from making quilts with American Gatherings, whether you did the Our Flag Stands for Freedom, that one, right? Or the quilt along. I have more than one bucket of scraps left from that. So we are going to start that hopefully probably April 1st, and that will continue for, I think there's 7 parts to it, and we will release that. I didn't really name it yet, I don't think, but I hope you join us. And even if you don't have any scraps of red, white, and blue, we will have some bundles and stuff like that for you to add to your collection that you do have. So you can still do the mystery even though I want to bust my scraps. So I'm going to give directions like, hey, you could strip piece a 9 patch, or you can make it from 1.5 inch squares. So depending on what you have left over, we'll do it a couple different ways. But this is a lot of fabric, and I have this really cool quilt in mind that you won't know what we're making until the end when you get to start putting it together. So it's all these just different units. Put that in there, keep that together. That will make up that mystery quilt. So look for that April 1st. And then, I don't think we officially decided, or did we, Jess, that this is going to be the wool summer project? That one.
That's the wool summer project.
Okay. All right. Originally, I think I was going to release this in fall, but we figured out I was having so much fun making it that I want to do it sooner than later. I don't want it to be off in the distance. So a lot of you know that we do summer blocks of the week here at Primitive Gatherings, but because of what's kind of all going on, we are going to change it up this year. We are going to make it a little bit more friendly on my staff and on you guys getting it. We are going to ship 4 weeks at a time. Because of the cost of shipping nowadays, we're going to send, instead of sending out a block each week, we're going to send 4 out at a time. So it'll still be a short span of 3 or 4 months, but you will get a package each month and it'll last you the whole month until the next ones come. And it'll be packaged all in different weeks for this.
So you have to pace yourself.
Yeah, pace yourself. But
I'm laughing.
So I'll just give you a peek. I don't want to show you the whole thing. And we'll have a couple different backgrounds because, of course, we couldn't get, we don't know. We don't know if 10 of you are going to sign up or 1,000 of you or 200. We have no idea. So we've secured a couple background choices for you to pick from. And once they run out, then we're just going to
have to
put
move
whatever.
First and second
We will
option.
run this as a block of the month, though, after the block of the week in the summer, which will have my autumn gatherings fabrics to pull from then. And we ordered a ton for the flannel version of this with wool. But I'm just going to give you a peek. So it's called Pumpkin Carving Contest, and it is 74 different pumpkins.
They're really cute.
It's really cute. And on paper, it looks like, but when you start seeing them come together, they are pretty amazing. So I kept going down, Terry, do you have more of my blocks drawn? Do you have more of my blocks drawn? Because I want to just keep working, because they're really fast and really easy. And compared to what some of the projects that we've had in the past, like Wildflower Garden hanging over there on the wall, that's really intense compared to how fun these pumpkin carving contests.
You just had a couple colors of floss or Valdani, and you could stitch all the eyes and mouths and.
And I'm using one black through the whole thing of wool, so we'll probably we'll either probably give you it all in one piece, depending. I'm probably gonna have the whole thing done before we start it, so we will know that. And usually that doesn't happen either. Usually I'm like got 3 or 4 blocks done and then we just start, and I just kind of stay ahead of you. But I have a feeling that I'm going to have this one done very quickly.
Be done and quilted before you start.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. So
how big do you think it's going to be?
It is going to be wall hanging size. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to offer it for the 12 weeks, and then there's going to be an optional finishing. Okay. So it's going to be 12 weeks, and then I think that size without any borders is like 51 by 58. If we're going to add a little bit of border, I want to add a border, but I want to fuse the tongues onto the border with pennies on the tongues. So that's going to be an optional finishing kit. It'll look fabulous without it, but for those of you who like a little bit more, I want to put the tongues on. And then it's only on 3 sides, and on the bottom it will say Pumpkin Carving Contest with the funky font, and it'll be cool. So if you love Halloween,
it's a good one.
Yeah, you are going to love this. So like I said, I really love that project. So I hope we have enough to do as many people who wants to do it. All right, so do we have any questions?
I actually have one. I had a couple of people ask about the wool subscription box. And I went down and talked with Joanne, And if anyone would like to join the wool subscription box for starting in March, I need you to email the shop, store@primitivegatherings.us, and Judy will contact you and get you into the box.
Okay, because we always do about 20 extra, just as insurance for people who we might lose some in the mail or that type of thing.
And I think because we didn't open it up at the beginning of the year, we have about 50 openings. So first come, first serve. Send an email, and then we will contact you.
And then what about back blocks for like this or?
You can purchase those as well. We just ask to please email, don't call. We will call you.
Yeah, let us call you when we have the time set away for you. Cool, that's exciting. I did not know that. So perfect. And like I said, we will up our subscription for the Quilt Box for 2023. We've already started ordering. Do you believe that? We've already been starting ordering little trinkets and whatever we're planning for 2023. That's how far in advance we have to think about what we're doing.
Your Moda sales rep was here today, and they were planning for like June of next year. I'm like, holy cow.
Yeah. Because of the volume, you really have to plan, and you have to like stick to your guns. Like, what if we get something in? I'm like, that's not what I thought it was going to be. I still have to work with it because I have 1,000 or 1,500 of them coming. So I have to work with it, and I think so far we've been doing
good.
I mean, I know, like I said, I know I'm not going to make everyone happy with every single thing they get in their box, but I'm going to darn sure try to make you happy with everything. And like I said,
that a lot of subscription boxes, like if I subscribe to a closed subscription box, I don't like everything that's in it, and
even though it's curated for you, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So
I do too. Like I belonged to Stitch Fix for a while. There's like a country decor one that I and I don't like everything, but then you save them for gifts.
Or not that you don't like it, but it might be something that you think, this might work better for somebody else.
Right. Yeah. It's just not your thing, or you're not feeling it, or
color, whatever it is.
Yeah. So that's just how it is. Okay, so I have to pick a couple winners. Just 2 prizes today. What else can we give away? What else can we give away? Anybody got any ideas? Oh, we got a whole box of stuff from your thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, let's give away a Primitive Gathering scissors. We have never given one of these away. So this is my favorite scissors. It says Primitive Gatherings on the blade. So this is what I cut all my wool and fusible and all that stuff with this scissors. Now, I don't use the crappy scissors that is for paper. I use a good scissors for that. So we'll give away one of these as well. All right, so I have the winner of the Fat Quarters for the Heartfelt Quilt Along for Fat Quarter Shop is Sherry Getchell, no R, Sherry Getchell. So winners, please store at primitivegatherings.us. No? Heidi.
Well, wait a minute now. That's for the blog ones.
All right. Store at primitivegatherings.us or Heidi. Heidi will take care of it this time.
Yeah, sure, I will.
Is this the winner?
That's another one. Yep. We'll change. And a question.
Oh, Kathy, this is a great question. So Catherine Bruton, never done wool. Could she do the pumpkin quilt? Yes. This is the one. This is a beginner project. It's very basic. No fancy stitches. Just blanket stitching and a lot of it, but easy, big, clunky shapes. Nothing tiny. Very fun. You will love it. You will love it. If you love Halloween, this is going to be a good one for you to do. And like I said, this is kind of a preview. We don't have these on our website for you to sign up for, so I'm kind of shooting myself in the foot. But I'm giving you something to look forward to and to plan on doing soon, because we are going to start our summer projects earlier if we can than normal. Once that fabric lands here that we've ordered, we're going to start, and will release them not all at the same time, right? We're going to stagger the release of the pieced one too, or not?
Maybe. We're talking about it next week. So.
Okay, next week. Agenda. Okay. All right, Cindy Hansen, you are the winners of the 1 pound of caramels. Now, we put caramels in the wool box and the quilt box, if you didn't know that. So these are going to go to Heidi, and Heidi's going to find out the winners of that one. And then I need one more winner of the scissors, or am I giving it to Catherine for her great question? Yeah. All right, Catherine. you won the Primitive Gathering scissors, and that'll be perfect for you to cut out your wool pumpkins when you sign up for your first ever wool project.
All right. Love it.
All right. I think I'm done talking today. We got to get Val to the airport. Any other questions that we can go over?
There were blog prize winners.
Okay.
So if you want to mention that.
Okay. So Heidi has picked some blog winners of those who have commented on some of our recent posts. So go to the blog, that's lisabonjean.com, and see if you are one of the winners of Heidi's giveaway on our blog post. All right. That's super fun.
Thanks for a fun week.
All right, I know, it was so awesome. Thanks for being a rock star. You're gonna love her teaching. I can't wait to do the quilt myself. That'll be another one on my board this summer.
You're doing different colors.
Yeah, I'm gonna do different colors just
Lakeside
because we
version.
already have that one.
Lakeside version.
Yeah, lake house version. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So, any other questions? If not, all right, everyone.
Subscribed.
Thanks for joining us today. Remember our instant antique if you want to make things a little bit drabber than what I might give you in anything. And we sure appreciate you joining us. I'm can't talk anymore.
Uh-oh.
All right. And we'll see you here next Thursday live. I think we have a couple lives next week. Are you going to do the live in the shop next week?
Like the shop talk one? Probably not.
Probably not? Okay.
I don't think it's starting until the beginning of April.
Okay. Yeah. Beginning of April, we'll have 2 lives a week. One from the shop and then one here from our design studio at Primitive Gatherings. All right, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.